This tutorial will demonstrate how to adjust the settings in your Korg Triton LE keyboard to disable equal tempered tuning and activate just intonation. It will also highlight the stark differences between the two types of tuning. Devices like the Yamaha Harmony Director have recently become famous for the clear demonstration of just intonation. However, if you do not own a Yamaha Harmony Director, you might substitute the use of this Korg for demonstrating just intonation to your students when tuning a chord, interval ear training, highlighting beatless tuning, or simply showing them the difference between just intonation and equal temperament. Equal temperament is a compromise to tuning as it adjusts pure intonation to make playing in 12 different keys on a keyboard sound relatively the same. Just intonation is pure tuning for each note as it relates to the tonic or fundamental. Let's power up our keyboard to get started. Dodia purchased Korg Tritons in 2005, so if you no longer have one, that's understandable. I know other Korg models have this ability as well. Now, in order for this to work, you will need to be in the program bank of sounds, not the combination bank. And I'm going to change from big sweep stab to a piano sound. In order to access the menu that will allow you to change the type of tuning used, you will need to press the menu key to the right of the display, followed by F2, highlighting the word Basic, and then F8 to open. Again, menu to the right, F2 highlighting Basic, and open with F8. Now we are at the screen that allows you to adjust the type of tuning and which note will serve as the tonic or fundamental for that type of tuning. Here's what a C chord using equal temperament tuning sounds like. Now I'm going to navigate down here to the tuning setting and change equal temperament to pure major, which is just intonation. And I'm going to play that same C chord. Back to equal temperament. Now hopefully you hear the beats or the waves in the equal tempered tuning C chord. I'm going to play it a few more times back to back. Again, here's pure tuning C chord, followed by equal temperament C chord. Do you hear a difference? So hopefully you can hear a difference between equal tempered tuning and pure major or just intonation. Now it's very important that you understand that pure intonation only happens as it relates to the tonic. Right now you can see that the tonic is showing the key of C, or the fundamental is C. So a fifth starting from C sounds like a fifth, like it should. Not out of tune, sounds perfect. Here we go. Now I'm going to play two other white keys that are also a fifth apart. Let's play D and A and see if this sounds like a good fifth or not. Ugh. So remember, the intonation, the pure intonation, only is correct as it relates to the tonic. If I create D as my tonic now, and I play an A, but still have C as my tonic on the keyboard, it's going to sound wrong. However, if I change the key to D, now this fifth will sound perfect. That's a D chord in the key of C. Here's a D chord in the key of D. So simply keep this in mind as you're using this feature. Interval training relative to the tonic of C when set to C, will result in perfect intervals. If you try to do other intervals, say E to A or D to A or something else, one of the black keys, that will result in imperfect tuning. Diatonic chords won't work here necessarily for all the diatonic chords. The minor 2 chord will be off. Hear it? So if you're using your piano to tune chords in class, you're not going to get good results, or you're not going to have a good demonstration for your students to hear beatless chords. If you want to hear beatless chords, you might want to change the tuning settings in your keyboard to demonstrate that. Now, if you're just using one note on a keyboard to serve as a relative pitch for tuning for your band or orchestra, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to demonstrate the distance between pitches, the intonation between pitches, the best demonstration of that would be using pure or just intonation. And again, you can decide how much energy you want to put into this with your students, whether it's just an exposure lesson or whether you really emphasize this throughout the course. I might not insist on using this every time I teach students, but there will be times throughout the year when I would want to highlight the absence of beats in tuning. Changing the tuning methods is one way to demonstrate that to your students. I hope this video has helped.